Hello to all my YouTubers out there. Welcome to my channel, Guided Angel. I was doing readings today and I got inspired to do a video about the eclipse. I'm going to be releasing all 12 signs for the month of November. I started working on them today. First of all, I want to say a few things before I get into that. Where have I been for the last year? Because I got so many emails, so many YouTube comments, people asking if I was okay and when I was coming back and that they missed me. And you know what? I just wanted to give like a huge shout out to all of you who did reach out. Thank you. I even got donations from people when I wasn't doing readings. And I hope that I was able to thank all of you as well. They were just saying, hope you're okay and wish you would come back. And that was just made me feel so good, made me feel really missed. So I really do want to say that I appreciate that so much. Over the last year, I have been working, just a full-time job like everybody else, but at night, I kind of became a little bit obsessed with studying astrology. I went through two courses. One of them is, they both have YouTube channels. One of them is Astrology with Heather. I went through her course. And the other one is, his channel was called Acuta Bava, but he just recently changed to Adam Elenbaas. So huge shout out to them because they both ran excellent astrology courses. They both had a very different, unique way of teaching astrology, but I learned so much just by seeing it from two different perspectives. Adam is all about ancient astrology and teaching you about the gods and the history of astrology and things like that, which really makes you understand the planets like in depth. And then Heather was more about, she seemed like she was a little bit more modern. She taught you, she really went into detail about the planets and, how they came, what they were known for, like when they came into history, and she went through transits and just wonderful, wonderful class. If any of you are looking to join an astrology class, I would just highly recommend either one of them. Check out their YouTube channels. I'll try and remember to list them in the description box below because I just want you to know how great they were. But for those of you who are still subscribed to my channel, thank you for hanging in with me and not deleting me. I did lose a lot of subscribers, but yeah, I wasn't posting videos. I had full intentions of bringing I have some notes over here on my screen that that's why I keep looking over there, because once again, I have so much to tell you guys and I just don't want to forget anything. I had full intentions of bringing my channel back October 1st. Somewhere around the third week of September, I had started to do the October readings and I was going to release them all. And YouTube disabled my monetization. So in these videos that I'm going to release for the month of November, if there's any ads on them, it's not from me. My monetization is disabled. I had to get in touch with Google and find out what was going on. I was able to straighten it out. Apparently, you have to have so many watch time hours within a 12-month period or you lose your monetization. So that's why I lost it. And I just have to get my watch hours back, and up to, I believe it was 4,000 is what they told me, 4,000 watch hours. Once I get that, then they'll reconsider me for the YouTube Partner Program again. So that's that. Let me just look over my notes. Oh, so I'm doing the readings today. I've gotten through, I think, 6 of them already for November. They're not uploaded. Maybe you'll see some of them tonight or even tomorrow. I'm going to try and get them all uploaded and in. But it really inspired me because I was like, wow, these readings are pretty intense. We are in eclipse season, And that's one of the things that when I was learning astrology that I became a little obsessed with, because I just found them so fascinating. How, you know, how things just change in your life like that. Well, it always seemed like I looked back on my life and when the eclipses had happened and what houses they had happened for me, and son of a gun, they were on point. That's where I received a change in my life. So I really got into the eclipses, and I was studying them more than I was interested in them more than just anything else. And I can see in the readings that I'm doing. So before I release the readings, I feel like I wanted to get this message out to you. By the way, I am going to go through all 12 signs and give you what I feel is my prediction, being a new astrologer and seeing what is coming up for you in the tarot cards. So we are having a new moon partial eclipse at 2 degrees of Scorpio on October 25th. The reason that it's a partial is because it's not conjunct the South Node, but it is the South Node's at 13 degrees, so it's 11 degrees away. So it's not going to be a total solar eclipse. The eclipse is going to be conjunct Venus, which is the planet of value, love, luxury, money, relationships, things we enjoy. All right. I did do a little bit of studying through, because I was studying about eclipses, and we did have this energy, this same energy in October of 2014. There was a solar eclipse at 0 of Scorpio. In April of 2005, there was a lunar eclipse at 4 degrees of Scorpio. And in October 1995, there was a solar eclipse again at 0 degrees Scorpio. So if you can look back on your life, any significant changes that may have happened during that time, it may give you some insight, because you're going to go through things in life repetitively as the astrology changes. Let me tell you all, for those of you who don't really believe in astrology, the last year that I've studied astrology and I've really gotten into it, and I have a, I can't remember what the name of the book is. You can purchase a book that's your personal, it gives you your personal transits every day. And I take notes every day, and I study my transits every day, and I am amazed. Sometimes it's exact. Like if it says I'm going to have some hard feelings with, Saturn square the moon or something, or Pluto square the moon or something like that at 3:30 in the afternoon, son of a gun, it happens. So it's very, very interesting. That's really all I can say. So anyway, we can break it down a little bit. An eclipse brings major changes by the universe. You do not have a choice in the matter. You might as well just surrender and just let it happen. It may cause sadness. It may cause happiness for some of you. I know that I think it was Taurus and Virgo, which I was surprised got really good tarot readings. So if you are a Taurus or a Virgo and you're watching this, make sure you watch the tarot reading. The thing that fascinated me the most was, I always thought, like, how can we have, so an eclipse, new moon is a new beginning in that area of your life, in that house. And the South Node is letting go. So it confused me, because I thought, how can we be letting go of something but have a new beginning? Well, it is. It's exactly what I said. It is letting go of something to have this new beginning, to bring this new thing in. For some of you, it could be a job. For some of you, it could be a relationship. For some of you, it could be a home. For some of you, it might even be a new car. Your car is just going to break down. One of the signs I'm going to tell you, and it's going to force you to have to go get a new one. Your house, you may have some problems with it, or you may go through a breakup, which may cause you to have to sell your home and move to a new place. It's the eclipse is happening at 2 degrees of Scorpio, and the coordinating tarot card for that is the Five of Cups. So it is going to be, sadness, regret, mourning, something that you're comfortable with, something that you're holding on to, something that's from your past life, because that's what the South Node is. The universe is saying, you can't have this anymore. It's time for you to grow. It's time for you to face your fears. It's time for you to move on to the next step in your chart. So I believe that our astrology chart, and this is just my belief, this is not anything that either of my teachers said, I believe that that is the contract that we made with our guides when we came to this world. And they set it up for us, and they said, you're going to have to complete these things at these times, and then when you're done, when you finish, then you can come back here to the soul world or whatever. And who knows when you're going to finish. I mean, I don't really know that. It's just something that I seem to believe. So, all right. A door is going to be closed, so a new door can open. This change may not be welcome, but it is necessary for us to move forward. This is something that is going to allow you to start a new chapter in your life. It brings powerful changes, crises, major transformations are about to happen for people. It could force you out of your comfort zone. It could force you to make a decision that you never thought that you would have to make. Scorpio is, the traditional ruler of Scorpio is Mars, and the modern ruler of Scorpio is Pluto. And I mean, they're two very extreme, tough energies. There may be arguments, there may be fighting, there may be competition. Venus isn't comfortable in Scorpio because Scorpio is ruled by Mars. Like, who loves competition? You know what I mean? Like, it just makes people aggressive and want to go after things. But Scorpio is also toxic and unhealthy. So it's going to force you to let go of some type of toxic relationship in your life, toxic job in your life, whatever it is. It's going to happen in a different house for everyone. And if you know what your astrology chart is and you know your rising sign, then you can relate to this very well. If you know your sun sign, this will affect your sun sign as well, but it's more about the rising sign, honestly. So your sun will be affected. You may feel very attached to something and you just don't want to let it go, but when a solar eclipse happens, you really just don't have much of a choice. For the collective, it may be financial because it's across the Taurus-Scorpio axis. So you may hear things about taxes. I know that the interest rate just keeps going higher and higher, and inflation is just higher and higher with that North Node in Taurus. Like, the food prices are out of control. Hopefully, it may even just get worse. I would suggest that you be careful with your investments. Maybe just, you probably, today is October 22nd, you're probably already feeling this energy. It should start, because I know it starts at least 3 days before and 3 days after, but an eclipse can be weeks before and weeks after. I've already let go of 3 things in my life that coordinate to the house where the eclipse is happening for me, which, by the way, it is happening. It's officially happening in my 7th house, but in Placidus, which I look at. I use the whole sign house system, but I just peek at Placidus to see the exact points, because sometimes it gives me a little bit more information. But that's just something that, if you study astrology, maybe you'll choose, the system that works for you, or the one that you like. I just kind of use both. I don't really have I don't know, maybe because I'm new at this, I don't really have a choice yet. But let's see, big changes in taxes, interest rates, bank loans, financial crisis, investments. Don't take any big risks. Be conservative with your money. And for the signs, Aries, this is happening in your 8th house. So a death and a rebirth is happening for you. This may have something to do with mortgages, life insurance, wills, investments, taxes, your partner's resources. If you're attached to someone, this may have something to do with them. They may be letting go of a job or letting go of a home, or it could be anything. Maybe some of them are going to let go of a home and move in with you. They're going to let go of their comfort zone so they can have a new beginning in that way. If there was any intimacy issues for you, Aries, they actually may improve, because Scorpio rules, our intimacy, if I can get that out. And if things were negative, then there may actually be a new beginning in that area. On a side note, there may be a secret that you may find out about your partner or your partner's money, or how they spend their money. Maybe they're hiding money. Maybe they have a lot of credit card debt that you don't know about. That's just something to keep in mind. Taurus, this is happening in your 7th house. This is me. This is the house of the close personal relationships, business partnerships, marriages. If you're not in a relationship, it doesn't matter. Business relationships could be anything from your dentist to your lawyer to your hairdresser. It doesn't have to mean that you're in business with someone. These are people that we work with or have contracts with. You may decide to take a relationship to the next level. You may let go of being single and face your fears and have a new beginning, and move into an apartment or a home or something with someone. The 7th house also rules negotiations and agreements. So some of you may be going through that. You might be letting go of a job and starting a new one, and you're negotiating and agreeing and making an agreement with the new company. Maybe a lease ending for some of you. Your lease might end. That's a contract. For some of you, there may be an end to a relationship here, very clearly. If you've been in a relationship for a long time, I want to point out that you will know. I don't think, there could be something shocking and unexpected that happens, and some kind of argument or something that ends a relationship, or a secret that's revealed. All of that is possible, but for those of you who are in a good relationship, I don't want you to fear that, oh my God, I'm a Taurus rising, I'm gonna get a divorce. That's not true. That is just simply not true. It could, like I said, it could be so many other things. Astrology means a lot. Just look at the 7th house and look what it means, and you may meet a new business partner. You may let go of your old hairdresser and find a new hairdresser. Plain and simple. Venus rules your 1st and your 6th house. This may have something to do with you and your daily routine. The 6th house does rule our work as well, and our health. So keep your that's why I said the 6th house. I feel like some of you may be starting new jobs. Maybe even your company is changing their dress code at work, because the 1st and the 6th house. So you have to let go of all the old things that you used to wear to work, and now you have to wear X, Y, and Z. You might be getting a new wardrobe because of that. Anyway, Gemini, this is happening in your 6th house, the house of daily work, routines, health, small animals, co-workers. Some of you may lose a coworker. Some of you may gain a new coworker. Possibly, maybe a coworker could retire, and you might get their position. You may get some type of promotion. That may be happening for some Geminis. If you do have any health issues that come up, I feel like it would be an ending to some type of unhealthy or toxic eating pattern, or maybe you'll be forced to let go of coffee. I think that one of the things for me, coffee gives me really bad heartburn, so I'm gonna let go of my coffee because it's causing me a health problem. In the 6th house, Virgo does rule Virgo rules the sixth house, and and Virgo rules our digestive system. So um, I feel like it would be a minor health issue. I feel like it's just something that may be resolved by changing your diet. Some of you may be even going on a diet. And if any of you are uh, planning on going on a diet, this would be a great time to do it, because an eclipse energy can last for 6 months. So you might be able to actually stick with it for 6 months, which I know I have trouble sticking to diets. Venus rules your 5th and your 12th house. So this could also have something to do with your children going through a difficult time. The um, the 12th house, the 12th house is spending time alone. Maybe you have a child that lives with you and they're moving out, moving into their own place, and this could free up some time for you. Your routine may change because of this, because the child's not around, if they're older. All right. Cancer, this is happening in your 5th house, the house of children, pleasure, romance, creativity, being on stage and in front of an audience. If you are a parent, you may be somehow having a new beginning concerning a child. If you have a toddler, maybe you're going from diapers to potty training. Maybe you're going from bottles to cups. Like, okay, we're going to get rid of the bottle, and now we're going to drink from a cup, because it's going to have, like, it's going to make your life a little bit easier. If you have older children, once again, because of the 5th house, they may be moving out if they live with you. And this is going to free up some time for you to maybe work on your creative abilities. Or maybe some of you want to start a YouTube channel and get on stage and let something go. There absolutely could be an unexpected pregnancy for some cancers, so be cautious of that, especially Cancer rising. And romance, of course. You may meet a new person. If you're single, it's very good potential to meet a new person. Could be a very strong connection and very intense relationship with Scorpio on the 5th house. Venus rules your 11th and 4th. If you are starting a new romance, maybe you're going to meet this person through a friend or a group, or maybe even through a family member with the 4th house. You may also, 11th house is friends. A friend could turn into a relationship. You might even be letting go of a friend. Okay. The 4th, you may have, so the 11th and the 4th, maybe your new goal or your new dream is to purchase a new home, or maybe even moving in together with a friend with the 11th and the 4th. That could be a possibility. Leos, this is happening in your 4th house of home and family. Some of you will definitely be moving. This may also have something to do with your parents. I kind of feel like, while I was studying astrology, the 4th house really seems to be the mother, and the 10th house seems to be the father. But I have noticed that sometimes parents or family members or people you live with come up under the 4th house, so keep that in mind as well. Someone may be moving in or moving out. You may find out that your parents are going through some type of transformation. Maybe they're getting a divorce. If your parents are single, if you have a single parent, maybe they're getting into a relationship and they're going to reveal the secret. Scorpio does rule our sewer lines and plumbing. So Leos, some of you may have some plumbing issues, anything that's underground. There may be some issues around those things in your home. Maybe it might result in you getting your bathroom remodeled, or your basement for that matter. Venus rules your 10th and your 3rd. Learning and studying, career. About maybe some of you are going to like real estate school, or even working from home. The 10th and the 3rd and the 4th. Maybe you're going to be changing and leaving the office and starting to work from home. That seems to be a big thing anymore. All right, Virgos, this is happening in your third house. The house of thinking, talking, learning, short distance trips, neighbors, cousins, siblings. Virgos, I would say that some of you would definitely be getting a new car. Maybe the old one has just got to go and you're just going to decide to get rid of it and get something new. You might even like pass a final test or graduate in some way, or like if you were going to school or you were learning something, maybe now you're going to start actually doing that thing. I also came up with, I think that it could be a very strong possibility that some of you Virgos might find out that you have a secret sibling, maybe even meet this sibling. There could be things going on with your neighbors as well. Maybe your neighbor is moving out and a new neighbor is moving in. Maybe you don't get along with a neighbor and the neighbor, you're just constantly fighting with this neighbor, and now you feel like I have to move. Like, that's it. I got to let go of this and I got to just move to a new place. And you're going to be really happy there. And I think over the next, if not, right now, over the next 6 months, I think that you will be moving. You might be signing some important documents. Paperwork is the third house. The third house does rule social media, so some of you may be changing some social media platforms. Maybe you're not going to get on this one anymore and you're going to get on this one now. Venus rules your second and your ninth. You could be planning an expensive trip to a distant land. You may, money and learning, values and learning. You got a lot of learning, Virgo. You might be actually putting something into motion that you've learned. Like, I feel like the South Node is letting go of the learning, and the new moon would be starting to put it, whatever it is that you've learned, into actual motion. Libra, this is happening in your second house. The second house rules our money. So I just feel like you might be maybe cleaning out the garage. I actually know someone who was just telling me a story, and I said, you must be a Libra rising. The person did not know what time they were born, so there was no way of me, verifying that. But he was just saying, like, I have this old Corvette, like, in my garage, and it's, like, taking up space, and it's, like, this old rust bucket, and it's been sitting there for 5 years, and every time I open up the garage and I look at this old Corvette, and I'm just like, I just got to get rid of this car. It's just, it kind of frustrates me every time I open the garage door, because I want to work on the car, but I know I got to cut the grass, So this person, I feel like you're going to do something like that, Libra. I feel like you're going to let go of some things, maybe some clutter or some things that you used to value, and now you're like, maybe I just don't value that thing anymore. And by letting go of that Corvette, maybe this person's going to buy something else with the money that he gets. Maybe he's going to buy a motorcycle. You know what I mean? Like, so it's going to be something like that. Venus rules your first and your eighth. So you may be going through, like, I don't really feel like it's a financial struggle. I do feel like you're letting go of spending habits. Maybe you feel like you're wasteful with your money. Maybe you feel like you need to make some changes and, like, that's it. I'm not going to buy X, Y, and Z anymore. I'm going to start a savings account and I'm going to put so much money in there, and I got to stop playing around. If you have credit cards, maybe you're going to do some, like, debt consolidation. That could be a thing for you. All right, Scorpio, the star of the show. This is happening in your first house, the house of self. Venus rules your 12th and your 7th. So some of you may be letting go of a relationship for sure, and changing some things about yourself. But your self rules your appearance, your emotions, your vitality. You could be doing so many things with the 12th house. You could be changing your appearance. You might dye your hair from blonde to black. You may shave off your beard. You may go down some type of new road. You are changing and transforming, and you're going through some type of big personal change. Maybe, let me say, oh, some of you might be doing a detox. I think that's going to come up for a lot of people because I had that for Gemini and I think Virgo too. Some type of health detox. Maybe you're going to be drinking some liquids or just drinking water for a few days, cleaning out your system. I think a lot of people are going to be doing that. So this 12th house does talk about spending some time alone, spending some time in solitude. I do feel like if you live with someone, it's a possibility that you might be moving out in some way with the 12th and the 7th and spending some time by yourself and really enjoying it. It's a new beginning in love. You know, it's doing something that you enjoy. So I think that maybe you might start practicing something spiritual or just spending some time alone in your new apartment reading a book or, you know. Sagittarius, this is happening in your 12th house. The 12th house does rule toxic behaviors, by the way. Scorpio, you might be letting go of some type of toxic behavior. It's the house of self-undoing. It is also the house of secrets. Sagittarius, be very careful of an affair at this time. Don't get yourself mixed up in that because I really see that for Sagittarians. It rules the 11th and the 6th. This could have something to do with a coworker or a friend or somebody who's married. But you may be letting go of a toxic behavior. Some of you might even go to your first AA meeting or, you know, or go into a rehab if you feel like that's what you need to do. Whatever it is, it's just that your goal is to let go, all of you, is to let go of this toxic, unhealthy thing in your life or something that you're attached to and move on and have some type of new beginning. For Sagittarius, Venus rules your 11th and your 6th, so there may be some type of new group. You also could be doing something around your social media, like I'm not going to get on that social media anymore, I'm going to get on this one. You may be joining a group of like-minded people. Maybe you were doing yoga for the last 6 months and you're sitting there and saying to yourself, like, I just don't even know why I go to this yoga class. Like, and then you find out that there's a kickboxing down the street and, you know, you quit the yoga and now you're going to do kickboxing. It could be anything like that. But a group of like-minded people that you're going to love. Venus is there, okay? Capricorn, this is happening in your 11th house. Where is your Venus? Oh, sorry, Capricorn. Venus rules your 10th and your 5th. I'm sorry, I messed up. Oh my goodness, now I really messed up. All right. So it's happening in your 11th house. Friendships, communities, goals, wishes, dreams for the future. You may let go once again of an organization or a club like Sagittarius that just no longer suits you and move on to a different group where you feel like you fit in or you belong or other like-minded people. You may also change your goals and your dreams. Like maybe you had this dream to live in a mansion on the beach and you just all of a sudden said, you know what, I was at the beach so many times over the last couple of years and I really just decided that I don't like sand. And that beach house that I always wanted, I'm not going to do it. I went to the mountains and I like it up there. I like the animals and the deer and the trees and things like that. And I decided that now my new dream is or my new goal is to have a mountain house, a cabin, something like that. It really does you don't have to be letting go of something that's toxic and unhealthy. You're just letting go of an old thing that you really wanted, you really desired. You may find out a secret about a friend that would cause you to possibly let go of this friend. There is a possibility for some Capricorns to turn a friendship into a romance. 10 and 5, this could have something to do with your career and your children. So, I mean, your children might be changing a career on social media. Astrology's funny. You got to kind of like put it all together. Some of you may turn your hobby or creative ability into a career. And if your career is on social media or in some type of group or something to that effect, that you might really enjoy that. Aquarius, this is happening in your 10th house. This is the house of your career. So a lot of Aquarius, if you are Aquarius rising, there's something on the table here, that's going to force you to change your career. It may be something that just pops up out of the blue. It may be a boss that you don't get along with. You may have just stayed there past the expiration date and you're just going to say, that's it. I just can't work here anymore. I'm leaving. I'm going to put my resume together and I'm done with it. Someone also for you, I know I said this for somebody else, someone may be retiring from a job, and this may open up a position for you within the same company. The 10th house also rules like our social status, and for me it rules the father. I know a lot of other astrologers won't say that, but for me it rules the father. Your father may tell you that he's changing. Maybe he's retiring. Maybe he's going from single to married or single to in a relationship. The 4th and the 9th, this could also be your father telling you that they're moving to a faraway place. Your career may change significantly in a way where you, maybe you work in a bakery and you're like, you know what, I just don't want to do this anymore. I decided that I want to be a real estate agent, 4th house. And you're going to start 9th house. You're going to start higher learning. You're going to start going to school and learn to be a real estate agent. It could do a total flip-flop. Pisces, this is happening in your 9th house. I feel like some of you might be graduating or finishing up some type of course or something that you've been in for a long time. There could be something to do with either a long distance relationship ending or even beginning. It's possible that you may be letting go of a relationship that's here to start getting into a long distance relationship with someone. Venus rules your 3rd and your 8th. Yeah, so there's transformation. There's an ending here. Could have something to do with signing some contracts, financial contracts in some way. But maybe you're letting go of the long distance relationship because you're going to meet somebody who lives closer. You're like, I just can't do that anymore. Also, the 9th house rules our beliefs. So a belief could be, well, it's always politics and religion. I mean, you might not be a Democrat anymore and you might be a Republican. Could be something to that effect. Doesn't even have to be that extreme. Maybe you feel like, and I know people who do this, drink a shot of apple cider vinegar every day because that's good for your health, and because I've heard people say this, and maybe now that's changing, and you're saying to yourself, you know what, I'm not going to drink this apple cider vinegar anymore. Now I believe, because your beliefs are changing, that I'm going to do this new thing. This may have something to do with a detox or a cleansing of the colon or anything like that. But with the 3rd and the 8th, I just feel like It's financial. I feel like it's a contract. Some of you could even be dealing with a will. I mean, I don't really like to say anything like that, but someone, if someone has someone, you could be moving far away. I mean, you could literally be signing paperwork and moving far away, signing some type of financial paperwork. All right. Anyway, Pisces, that's the end of my thing. I just want you to know that before I release these readings today that seem like they're a little rough, just if the universe is trying to get you to let go of something, the let go of control card keeps coming out. Just surrender. Surrender to the universe, let it go, and stop fighting it. And because there's something better that's coming for you. That's what this is all about, this new beginning that you love. You know, so I'm going to leave that there. Let me know how I did on my first astrology video. Let me know if you liked it. Let me know if any of you are doing those things, because as of today, you should already be in the motion of those things. I'd be so curious to hear what some of you are going through, especially if you know what your rising sign is, and if you're going through situations in that house. Please let me know, because it would be really exciting for me to read the comments. With that said, I am going to leave now. I'm going to end this video because I've been talking too much. I'm going to get back to the finishing up the readings, and you can look for those maybe tonight or maybe tomorrow. I'm working on it. All right? Love and light to you all, and I will see you soon.